Hi, hello and welcome to DriveSpark. This is Stephen Neal and we are coming to you live from the world premiere of the new Hyundai Santro. So what does this car have to offer? Let's take a closer look at the new Hyundai Santro. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the all-new Hyundai Santro, and it has just been launched in India at a price of rupees 3.89 lakh. That's the starting price, and it was the initial price only, and this price will be valid only for the first 50,000 customers. Then there will be a price revision. Well, safe to say the 50,000 units would run out really quick, because Hyundai had opened pre-bookings for the Santro a few weeks earlier, and they have received 23,000 pre-bookings for the car. And so 50,000 units isn't very far off for Hyundai India. So 3.89 lakh for the base variant Delight, and 5.84 lakh for the top-spec CNG sports variant. Yes, it comes with factory-fitted CNG as an option. More on the powertrain later. As you can see, India just loves the Hyundai Santro. The Hyundai Santro has been the mainstay of Indian families for a long time now, and it has been the car that stood up to Maruti Suzuki in terms of sales and reliability and maintenance costs, etc. And it literally built up the Hyundai name in India. It was the Santro that was launched 20 years earlier in 1998. So 2018 we have the all-new Santro. A bit of background here. The Hyundai Santro was stopped in 2014. Yes, that was the time when Hyundai put an end to the production of the older Santro, in the rise of new cars from Hyundai stable itself. So they had the new i10, Grand i10, the Eon, etc. And the Santro is still selling very well in spite of Hyundai having new cars, and Hyundai had to put an end to it. But Hyundai soon realized that it was a Santro that built up the brand name in India, and so they're here back with the new Santro. Let's talk more about the car in detail now. The new Hyundai Santro. So speaking about design, well, it's brand new. It looks nothing like the old Santro, but Hyundai claims to have taken inspiration from the old Santro in various ways, especially for the design. Up front you have a brand new headlamp, new bumper, new design, entirely new design. Has the same signature cascading grille up front. It has a Hyundai logo prominently placed on the front bumper. The front bumper looks very sporty indeed, and it has the integrated fog lamps as well. The fog lamps as a first has been integrated into the grille, the entire grille design. And coming to the sides, viewed from the side profile, well, no alloy wheels here. We have steel pressed rims with plastic hubcaps, but they still look very good, and from a distance it could fool anyone into thinking that those are alloy wheels. We also have these signature Z lines, the character lines right there and at the back as well. So coming to the rear, well, we have new tail lamp design and the Santro badging. So great to see this badging back on a car in India, the Hyundai badging, and then the variant. This is the Asta. At the rear also is a sporty looking bumper with reflectors in it, and the signature design that Hyundai has been trying to deploy all over the car. Let's take a look at boot space before we go up to the front. Right, let's look at it from the inside then. The rear bench, Hyundai claims to have designed it to offer better seating position with better ingress and egress. Also, let's go to the front, and this is where most of the action is happening. So we have the steering wheel with built-in audio controls. More on the audio system in a bit. Controls for the mirror adjustment, the headlamp height adjustment, speakers in here. We have the dual tone interior color on this one. This comes as standard. Yes, you get dual tone interiors as standard. They are offering a sporty black with Diana grey interior, which is optional. It's an optional extra. we have the instrument cluster here with an MID display and the analog tachometer and speedometer. We also have, let's get in here. The seats are pretty good. First impressions definitely great. The seat has great under thigh support and great back support as well. Up front is the 17 centimeter touchscreen music system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We have buttons here for the controls, and we have the hazard lights, the air conditioning controls. Air conditioning controls is claimed to be the best in class from Hyundai, so that is something to watch out for, which we will be talking more about in our first drive impressions. We have airbags, dual airbags are standard, ABS and EBD is standard as well. More on safety a bit later. Let's take a look at the glove box. Decently deep, but not too, doesn't store a lot. We have, as a first, the power window controls right behind the gear lever. So while this is innovative and new and is accessible more easily by the passenger as well, could cause a bit of a confusion, at least initially while using it. So that's about the interiors. From the front seat, let's open the boot. Yes, we have a boot release and petrol filler release right here. So boot released, and boot space, as I was checking out earlier, isn't that great. Rear wiper comes as standard, and okay, it seems like the boot is shut. Petrol filler cap right here, and let's take a look at the engine. So the Hyundai Santro is powered by a 1.1 liter fuel injected petrol engine. It's a 4-cylinder unit, of course naturally aspirated. Hyundai has tuned it not for power but for mileage, as this car is targeted as the typical family buyer. So something that is reliable and efficient is what Hyundai was looking at, and this is just that. The 1.1 liter unit produces 68 bhp and 99 Nm of torque in the petrol variant, whereas the petrol and CNG variant produces 58 bhp and 84 Nm of torque. So the figures aren't that great, but well, the typical family would not need more than that. So that's good for Hyundai. As you can see, it's a utilitarian approach right here. It isn't very posh, but something that is great. Transmission options are a 5-speed manual comes as standard, whereas Hyundai for the first time has debuted the smart auto AMT transmission along with the new Hyundai Santro. It is the global premiere for the transmission as well. So the transmission is a 5-speed AMT gearbox, and that is being offered as optional, and that would be optional only on the petrol variants. The CNG variants will still be powered by only 5-speed, driven by only a 5-speed manual transmission. So that was that about the engine and transmission. So the Hyundai designers, they took inspiration from the old Hyundai Santro as well as the developing Indian culture. So according to Hyundai, in the presentation, they had mentioned that for a year Hyundai studied the dynamics of the Indian market and where the Indian market was heading to, and well, they seem to have got it right, as people are just loving it. We can see that even though it's been nearly half an hour since it was launched, people are still flocking to the car to check it out. This is the blue color. Speaking of colors, it's being offered in 7 colors, among which Diana green is a new color, which isn't on display here, but it's a bright, almost neon green sort of color. and that would be targeted as at the first time car buyer. When looked from the side, it does remind one of the old Santro and the old i10 as well, so people can relate to this car better as well. So that was that from the launch of the new Hyundai Santro. Shah Rukh Khan, Bollywood actor, he was present here at the launch, and he spoke about his 20-year-old relationship with Hyundai, which was quite emotional for him as well, because the Santro has done that magic in the Indian market. So it has drawn customers to it. If you look at it in the used car market as well, the Santro still it commands a premium over other cars of the same segment, because the new Santro, because the old Santro as well had that appeal, and the new Santro quite evidently too has the same kind of appeal. So that was that from the launch of the new Hyundai Santro. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to DriveSpark for more auto news, auto reviews and auto updates, and do check out the full review, the launch article that has been put up already, and for more details. Thanks for watching.